All right, YouTube, what's up? My name's Jamie, or JS Method, or Coach JS as y'all may know me as. I'm over here on my Twitch stream. We're doing another Coach Q&A. This question is by 2% win rate, kind of similar to the champion identity questions we asked in the last one. So if you guys haven't watched that video, make sure you guys go watch that. But he kind of adds on to it and he says, beyond my champion identity, how do I see what my team is missing? How do I build a good team comp? How do I read / play towards the enemies / my team comp's game plan? Okay, so the first thing that's important to note is in solo queue, building a team comp should not be a priority, right? Ideally, you're playing 2 to 4 champions. Maybe you're one-tricking, maybe you're playing 5, but ideally you have a small champion pool and you just play those champions. You shouldn't really be trying to create a really crazy good team comp in solo queue. In Clash, it's a little bit different. In Amateur, it's a little bit different. So first things first, it's not the hugest concern. What is important is to be able to know what your team needs for your champion to do this game, right? So let's say you're me and your champion pool right now is like Tryndamere, Annie, Karma, right? I need to know for each of these champions in all team compositions what I have to do to help facilitate the victory. Right. In some games, it's going to mean, I take more early game stuff and I take up a lot of space early game as Tryndamere that I let my jungle step into. In some games, it means I just sit under tower and farm. On Annie, some games it means I go Electrocute. Some games it means I go Predators. Some games it means I go Rocket Belt or Ludens. That's the stuff you have to kind of look at your team comp and say what's up with that. Right. So now the next question is how do I figure out how my team wants to win? Right. Team identity. What's the key here? How do I know that my team how they want to win? The answer kind of boils down to it's really just addition, right? If you're able to do what we did in the last video and take individual champ identity, right? And for example, let's take Annie, right? It's really simple. We know she's a burst mage. We know she likes flanks. We know, her spikes, right? She spikes at, she spikes at 6. She spikes at her mythic, these kind of things. If we just have these ideas of what her identity is, we can do that for every single champion on the team, kind of add them together and see how we have to play, right? So let's just go through like an example. Let's say we have, I don't know, chat, do you guys want to give me champions? Do you guys want to give me a team comp, chat? If you guys are quick, I'll do your team comp. All right, so I'm gonna start. Let's keep running with Annie. Okay, sure. Let's say we have Annie. Let's say we have Shen. We have Diana. Ooh, it's a bit rough. You have Kaisa and you have Pyke. Sure. Right? So let's say we have all these champions. We know that, okay, we can just kind of list off what these champions like to do. Diana likes to engage, likes to mix fights, Pyke likes to engage, Kaisa likes to go forward. So if we're playing Annie here, and we know that our team is going to want to go forward, and we're going to want to take ground and kind of engage and fight like that, then maybe we think, what helps me do that? What helps me kind of fight with this comp correctly? We know that we're going to build Rocket Belt this game, right? And we know that we're going to look for ways to kind of push into, let's say they're here. We're going to find ways to flank so we can kind of engage on 2 different fronts, right? That's what we want. Where in some games, if we're playing Annie and we have a Veigar ADC and we have a Karthus jungle, first of all, you guys are going to need lots of Magic Pen, but, or let's say you have a Caitlyn ADC and you have a Karthus jungle. You guys want to set up here first, and then we kind of want to sit in a bush, let their team come into it, then we kind of collapse onto it. Rather than engaging onto them from 2 fronts, we kind of set up on the objective, let them engage on our team, and then we flank in, right? So that's a way that Annie's identity shifts, your job shifts based on your team, right? Other ways it can shift is that your bot lane in this game, chat's spamming bot prio. Yeah, so that you have a scaling jungler. You know that you have strong side lanes. What does that mean? It means maybe we're not going to look to play with our jungle as much, and we probably don't want a 2v2. This 2v2, especially early game, is pretty weak, right? You have 2 MR champions, or you have 2 magic damage champions. Neither of you have insane damage really early. You guys both scale well, and you guys will have good wombos, and you know, past 6 it gets stronger. But very generally, you're going to look to play more in these side lanes, right? If you can get Shen ahead, he can snowball pretty nicely. He can spread his lead nicely. If you get this super high tempo bot lane ahead, they snowball and carry the game for you, right? So we think, okay, we play less with our jungle, less 2v2, more side lane. Again, that's another way your identity shifts to kind of fit your team composition, right? So your champion's going to have this identity, right? And you kind of figure it out for all the other champions, and you just shift it to fit the mold and the role that your team needs, right? So that is kind of like the beginning of how you shift your identity to match your teammates. How do you figure out your teammates' identity? Well, you have to know what all the champions do. You have to figure out, you have to go through it, and you have to say, okay, Shen, what does Shen do? What is he like? He's a very strong laner pre-6, and post-6, he's looking to apply global pressure with his ult, and he's looking to side lane and kind of come in with his ult, right? If you don't know that, how do you learn that? Well, if you don't know that, you say, okay, I don't know what Shen does, and my goal this game is just to watch Shen and see what he does. If it doesn't go well, ask yourself why, right? Did he not get an early kill and now he's out of the game? So now we know we have to go get early kills with him and he gets snowball? Or did he do really well, and why was that allowed to happen, right? So you have to pay a lot of attention to champions you don't know. And over time, as you play, you know, as you ask people, as you kind of maybe even ask your teammate, like, Diana, how do you want to play this? Do you want to look for a 2v2? If she knows what she's talking about and you guys are playing into a strong kind of mid jungle on the enemy team, she's gonna be like, no, just let me farm, right? And you're like, okay, Diana wants to farm, and then we can kind of engage and carry late game, right? So, yeah, you kind of, it's basic addition. The last video talks a lot about individual champ identity. This video is just adding that together with all of your teammates and kind of shifting your identity based on what you guys want to do, right? Does this stuff make sense? Are there any questions on this? We'll also kind of, I'll add on, how do I build a good team comp? Let's say you are playing Clash, right? And you are kind of open to playing more champions. How do you build a good team comp? Well, you find identities that match together, right? If you pick Diana in the jungle, you pick somebody that can engage with it, and you pick somebody that can survive with farming through the early game, right? Diana or Yasuo is, you know, a pretty common thing. They both scale really well. They have a good 2v2 because, you know, it's an AP and an AD, and they have good setup for each other, right? Those guys are going to be really, really powerful because they both want to do the same thing. They both want to go in and wombo combo, and they want to do it really hard, right? Other examples would be like, you know, if you have a champion that wants them to come into you, right? Let's say you have like a Veigar mid, you want to draft things that are similar to that, right? Xayah bottom, you know, Karthus jungle, like those kind of things. So that's how you build a good team comp, like generally speaking. But again, don't worry about it in solo queue. Play your 2 to 4 champions. How do I read / play towards the enemies / my team comp's game plan? Again, it's just basic addition, and then once you add up the team comps and you say, well, this is my team comp versus their team comp, you just try to do your job and you try to deny them from their job, right? It seems really basic and kind of abstract to say that. But again, let's go back to this example. Let's say we're playing, you know, Kai'Sa, Pyke, Diana, and Shen. And let's say they have like Trundle, they have, I don't know, Irelia, they have Eve in the jungle, and then I don't care who they have bot lane. It can be Kate Lux. I don't care. So if we look at these two comps, right, you can say, well, this comp on the bottom side, the blue side comp, wants to engage. They want to set up, they want to go into the objectives. When the dragon's up, they're going to walk there, they're going to walk to it, they're going to walk into it, they're going to try to engage onto you. If you're not there, they're going to take the objective. That's how they're going to win. This team has amazing side lane, has a good, solid, like, foundation in the middle, and they have good pick potential with the Eve. This team's going to want to side lane, and they're going to want to split push all the time. They're going to want to apply pressure in 2 spots, maybe even 3 spots by 1-3-1ing, until you just break pressure because you guys can't deal with those threats as effectively, right? So you're just going to sit the Kate Lux mid, you're going to have the Trundle and Irelia go side lane, you're going to have Eve go make sure one of those pressure points breaks, right? So now you know how the two teams play. Now it just comes down to who does their damn job better, right? That's who wins that game at the very high level. In the low levels, it still gets, decided by whoever has the most gold, and then you can play it kind of however you want if you're up 20k gold. But really, if the team is even, that's how it's going to get kind of played out. Whoever does their job better is going to win that game, right? So, yeah. Hopefully this stuff makes sense. This was, I think, our third Coach Q&A video. If you guys have questions, join my Discord channel, drop them in here, and we will answer them. If you guys want to join the weekly coaching giveaway, we do that as well. And I appreciate you guys watching this YouTube video. I'll catch you around. Peace.